Hi, this is Peter from Joomla. Today we're going to be talking about ThemeMagic in this T3 Video 3 tutorial. ThemeMagic lets you make changes to your CSS files without going into the back end or opening any code. There'll be two parts to this video. First, there will be the configuration of ThemeMagic and how to use it. And the next, changing ThemeMagic or customizing it by adding new groups and new parameters. So let's get started with ThemeMagic configuration. First, from the back end of your site, navigate to Template Manager. Click that. In this tutorial, we're going to select the J Argo template. Here you can see the ThemeMagic button. Click on this button to open the panel. But first, ensure that ThemeMagic is enabled under General ThemeMagic. You can see the working panel of ThemeMagic here. As you can see, the left panel includes groups of parameters, while the right panel is your site. To change any settings, simply change the setting, then click Preview. Okay, so first we're going to select the dark theme to customize. Let's preview that. Now we're going to go to the grid. The grid has many parameters. We're going to change the width of X tablet here to 800 pixels. We're going to preview this. Now you can see the width size is changed. Now let's try to configure under module groups and parameters. We're going to change the color here. So we can select any color we want for the module text. And we're going to also change it for the title. Okay, we're going to preview this first. See how that looks. You see it's been changed. Okay, now we're going to configure the typography. We're going to change the font family to monospace and do the same for the heading font family and preview. See, the font's been all changed. That looks nice. Much different look. We're going to change the font to 12. It's a little too big here. Okay, seems to fit the page better. Now we're going to save as a new theme. This means that the changes we've just made will be saved under a different theme name than the original, which will allow us to return at a later date if we don't like any new changes, or to use it as a base in the future. So let's move to the next part, ThemeMagic Customization. T3 allows you to add unlimited parameters and groups here. All the groups and parameters are defined in template detail.xml file. The XML file is located in templates. Then you find the template name. Now you open the XML file. Scroll down. ThemeMagic group and the parameters are defined here under ThemeMagic. The field path should not be changed. Scroll down some more. Here's a group of parameters. It starts with field set and ends with field set. This is to define the group name. The group name is defined by whatever you choose, and you can change it to whichever name you'd like. Its label is defined in the language file plugin. In case you change the name, you have to change it again under the module. Next, we're going to define some parameters. We have two parameters in this group, T3 module color and T3 module title color. This is the variable that is listed in variable.less. Okay, let's open the less folder. Scroll down, find the variable less file and open it. We're going to find T3 module color here. And this is its value. This class is only for the color parameter. As you can see in green, you can set the default value for the parameter. If you leave it blank, The parameter will get the value from the variable .less file. Here is the label and description of the parameter. They are defined in the language file of T3 plugin and the template. Okay, let's open the folder Administrator, Language, NGB. Okay, now we're going to scroll down. We're going to open the language file of the T3 plugin. Labels and descriptions of parameters are defined here. Okay, now we're going to add a new parameter under the module group, under the template details.xml file. We're going to start by cloning an existing parameter. We're going to open the variable less file and find what we want. Okay, let's use T3 module padding and copy. Go back into the template details.xml file. Now we're going to paste it here. This is text type, so change the text to text. As the parameter type is not color, we don't need to change it here. Let's set the default value to 1. Okay, let's change the label of the parameter and the description as well. Now we need to define the label and description of the parameter. So we're going to open the language file, then add the label here. Okay, let's set the name of the label. Next, we're going to define the description of the parameter. Set padding for modules here. We're going to reload our site. Okay. Now let's open the module group. Great, the new parameter is added to ThemeMagic. Now, we will add new groups with parameters to ThemeMagic. Okay, let's open the variable.less file and find the variables we want to add to ThemeMagic. Okay, let's use variables for footer modules. Let's go back to the template detail XML file. Let's clone the group module. Let's change the group name to footer module and change the label of the new group. Now back to the variable less file to copy the variable. And we're going to override the old name. It's a color parameter, so we want to keep the type and the class. And we'll leave the default value. Now we're going to change the label and description of the parameter. Okay, now we're going to add a new parameter. We're going to add the variable T3 footer module color. Let's keep the type and the class. We're going to change the label and the description of the parameter. We don't need to add the new parameter, so let's remove this line. Now let's define the group name, parameter label, and description. Okay, define the group name. Set to footer module. And let's go back to the template detail.xml file to copy the parameter label. Okay, paste that there. And let's set it to module title color. Now let's define the description of the parameter. Set color for footer module. We're going to do the same for the other parameters. Always keep in mind, you have to copy the added language to the language file of the template. Let's open the language folder. Find and open the language file of the JA Argo template in this example. Paste it. Now we're going to reload the ThemeMagic panel. We're going to scroll down, and you can see that the footer module group with 2 parameters has been added to ThemeMagic, and now you can change the settings of the parameters through the front end of your site using ThemeMagic. This is the end of our video tutorial today. Thank you for using the T3 version 3 framework. You can view more tutorials at youtube.com/Joomla.